Welcome back to the Visibility Impact Show. We have a very special guest today, and her name is Danielle La Rose, and she is your virtual hype girl, body confidence and wellness strategist, pretty powerful girl mentor, and motivational dance fitness instructor. She inspires and motivates women around the world to question beauty standards and get out of their body thoughts and into living their best, most confident lives. Welcome to the show, Danielle.
Hello, friend. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so glad to have you on. This is going to be so fun. I know this episode is going to touch so many lives and help so many people. So let's just get down to it.
Okay.
Why are you so passionate about body confidence?
Oh my gosh, I could talk about this could take me like 3 hours to explain, so I'll do it my best in like 3 minutes. I've just been working with women for over a decade now, and no matter if they're 20 or they're 80, like I hear the same thing over and over again. I don't want to wear shorts. I can't wear a tank top. I don't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like that's really like where your mind goes. Like so many of us see each other in such like a positive light. Like we see them as like, I'm like, if you could just see yourself the way that I see you, like you wouldn't have those thoughts. You would totally wear all the things, do all the things. And so like I just kept seeing this happen over and over again. And then even for myself, like when I was in high school, I used all of my high school graduation money on a procedure to get rid of all my cellulite, which by the way, don't ever do that because it doesn't actually work. It was a scam. It was a total scam. So I lost all this money, but I like went to this thing and they're like pushing these things on my legs. It was so weird, but like it was guaranteed to get rid of my cellulite. And for like, I don't know, almost 20 years, I didn't wear shorts, even when it's like 100-degree temperatures. Like I'd be in Disney World, like when it's 100 degrees and humid, wearing pants because I just thought something was wrong with my body, that no one should see it. No one should have to look at that. And then I went to college and I started studying sociology. So how society works and why we think the way that we think and why we take actions the way that we do and how we affect one another. And I took this class and I'll never forget it. And we were reviewing, which is totally your world, but marketing, right? And we were looking at advertising. And back then we didn't have social media. Well, social media was coming up, but we were looking at like ads and commercials and different things and analyzing how girls and boys were positioned, what their bodies were doing, how they were, using products to sell products, and everything was just sexualizing the female body and showing how they're so distorted that they couldn't even be real humans. Like Barbie herself, like she could never be a real human because she wouldn't be able to menstruate. Like, right. And we look at these things and we're like, oh my gosh, they're beautiful, they're perfect. And so I'll never forget, like all of us women in the class, like we just kind of looked at each other, like our minds had been blown that like, oh my gosh, like this is why we feel the way that we do. It like the men in the class were like, oh, okay, like whatever, no big deal. Like, cause they didn't understand.
Right.
And so then like I got out of college and I got to go on my own health and wellness journey of, I had to get back to a healthy spot for myself because I had gotten really unhealthy throughout college, drinking 6 pops a day, eating McDonald's twice a day, like just super unhealthy.
Right.
And as I started going on that journey, I started doing everything that everyone does, right? Like eating, trying to count calories, counting points, doing all the things that weren't really healthy. And then I decided to make a different approach to it finally, and using that background with sociology and my experiences and everything to really go on a journey of like getting healthy at the same time as trying to love my body and appreciate my body. And then through that, that's where now I'm here of like, okay, now I'm working with women who are just like me, who are struggling with these things. And how are we actually going to make drastic change in the world? And yes, it's working with older women because we have to shift our mindset so we help the next generation. Yeah. But then it's also working with little girls of like, hey, there's a different way to do this. There's a different way to look at your body. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm not sorry, but that's my answer.
Yeah. And I didn't even plan on asking this, but since we're here, it's kind of like, so one of the things that I teach is that like be grateful and have gratitude where you're at now, because if you can't figure that out now, you're going to really struggle. And I feel like maybe that's the same thing with our bodies. Can we not love our bodies where we're at right now, knowing just like our minds and our personal growth and our bank accounts, they're all a work in progress.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like you always preach, right? You have to have that gratitude and love and appreciation and excitement for what you have. We don't take care of things that we hate, right? So if you hate your business, you're not going to take care of it. You're not going to show up. You're not going to do the things. That's what you preach.
Yeah.
And so it's the same exact thing. Like and again, you don't have to, and you share this a lot, that you don't have to like be on cloud nine, like jumping off the rooftops every single day to like show that you love your business. Like some days it's going to be like, no, I need to chill and like do absolutely nothing and I'll be back tomorrow.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that like you lose love for it and appreciation for it. And so it's the same like with our bodies, is that like I always tell people, like, you don't have to love your body today, but you can be grateful. We can learn how to show gratitude. We can learn how to appreciate it. We can learn how to like it to get to that point of loving it. It's all a journey.
I love that. I love that. So one of the things that you talk about is you can save like 12 hours a week by thinking about your body less. And let's talk about this in the aspect of an entrepreneur, because one of the biggest things I hear is I don't have time. So what are we doing that's loving our body less that we could technically change that thinking and save us 12 hours?
Yeah. So the research shows that the average woman spends $250,000 in her lifetime and 12.5 hours a week thinking about, stressing about, worrying about how to change her body. And so what if we could think about our bodies less and save, even if we just saved like 2 hours, like many of us would be like, man, if I could get an extra 2 hours a week, like I'll make the freaking TikToks, I'll make the posts on social media like Chrissy tells me to. And so it really is, look, I'm just going to throw it all out here. There's this whole world now, right, of like body positivity, which is great. I'm not dissing the body positivity movement. However, this is Danielle's theory. Danielle's theory is that we have gone from back in the day thinking about our bodies and how they should be smaller, right? They're supposed to be smaller. We're supposed to look this way. Now we're just being told that now, right? Social media, visibility, we see it everywhere, that now people are showing their cellulite, they're showing their stretch marks, and they're showing their wrinkles, and they're like, love your body. And that's great. That's really cool. And because it makes us feel like, okay, my body is normal. Mm-hmm. However, all that it's doing is making us think about our bodies. Nothing has changed. We're still literally just consumed and thinking about our bodies, whether it's good or it's bad. We're just thinking about them. So if we're spending 12 hours a week thinking about our bodies, we're not spending 12 hours a week building our business, showing up on social media, doing the things that we want to do. And so even if we took 6 hours away. So my goal for everyone, especially entrepreneurs, is how can we get to a point to where we don't need to think about our bodies as good or bad? They're just bodies and they're just there and allow us to do the things we want to do. So we're thinking about them not in a positive light or a negative light, just not at all, to then save us those 12 hours a week.
Right. I love that. I love that. Now, the thing we talked about visibility, we're talking about TikToks, we're talking about all these things. I just put a post up, and the thing that I think there are people that obviously don't want to get on video because of aging. And I've noticed myself even like noticing that about myself. Like I notice, because I think sometimes in the real world, when we're not an entrepreneur, you're not on video all the time, right? But when you notice like this, so we have this evolution, right? And we grow, but we're getting older and wiser. And so like, I'm even noticing things about that, but I see so many people who won't even attempt to get on video because they're not where they want to be yet. I hear people talking to photographers. Well, when I get where I want to be with my body, I will get my picture taken. Like, how do we get out of that as entrepreneurs, knowing that in order to grow our business, visibility is key. We're going to build more like, know, and trust. Like, but how can we become more confident with ourselves to show up more on social media in some capacity?
Woo, Chrissy, that's a big one. All right.
I knew you could handle it. I knew it.
I think So one of the things that I always ask myself, that has helped me a lot through my journey. Here's the thing: what we have to also remember is, I'm realizing that so much of life. Okay, yoga. Okay, I know I'm gonna get back to your point, but
Okay.
yoga, right? Everyone says I'm gonna go do my yoga practice. Even if they're like the best top yogi in the world, I don't do really yoga, so like I don't know the terms, but the yogis of the world that are like the gurus, like the main ones, they still say that I'm gonna do my yoga practice. How come in the rest of our lives we're not practicing?
Yeah.
Like we get to practice showing up and being visible. We get to practice, self-love. We get to practice working out. We get to practice it. Nothing has to, you don't have to figure it out by tomorrow. And so all that to say that I just believe that everything is a practice. So it's a journey. So every single day it's a new choice of how can I practice body gratitude today? How can I practice showing up as my authentic self today? How can I practice being visible today? And so it relieves some of that pressure. Now, for showing up with your body and when we have like some hesitations, one of the questions that I always ask myself is who does this benefit?
Mm-hmm.
Who does this thought benefit? Because when we get down to business, right? So when I go through my power methodology with my clients, we have to become aware of where our thoughts come from. Because you weren't born that way. You weren't born lacking confidence. You weren't born thinking that your body was wrong. Like it actually doesn't make any sense at all that we would even think that cellulite is wrong because it's freaking science. And women's bodies, their fat underneath just looks different than men's. And that's why women have cellulite and men don't. But we haven't been taught those things. We literally just are growing up in a world where we're just told these things are wrong. You need to fix these things. And it's over a $550 billion industry, the beauty, fitness, health industry. That's literally their job is to sell you that you should be insecure about these things.
Yeah.
My cellulite doesn't affect my health. My wrinkles don't affect my health unless some doctor ends up telling us that they do. But so far, from my understanding, they don't affect my health. They don't affect my heartbeat. They don't affect my lung, right? And so I ask myself every single day, who do these thoughts, when they creep in, like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't show up today because my body, like, I don't feel like it doesn't look good today. I just ask myself, who do those thoughts benefit? And it's not benefiting me to have those thoughts. And it's not benefiting me to not show up. It's really benefiting the outside world that wants me to be quiet and be silent and to shrink myself because it benefits them. Yeah. And so then people might not like this, but I think it's okay to get angry. I get angry all the time. I'm like, man, that's dumb. Like, I'm not going to allow them to win today. Like, you're not going to let me sit. I'm not sitting back because you want me to think something's wrong with myself. So screw you. I'm going to show up today. And if other people don't like the way that I look, okay. Like, you don't pay my bills.
I love this. This whole conversation is so good.
Can I share with you though, real quick? Because I forgot I was going to share. So five things that I actually do almost every single time before I get, like, even today, like on a podcast, or I, when I do TikToks, because again, even people who say like, oh, I'm so confident and like, here's how to be confident. Like, I can preach confidence all day. I can help you love your body. But at the same time, I'm working on myself. Just like I know you always say that, right? Like, work in progress. You're always learning about visibility. And so I'm a work in progress and always on the journey of practicing self-love, body appreciation. So with that, almost every time I do 5 things when I need to create quick confidence. And so I use my 5 senses, and now I'll probably forget them, but right, like taste. So I drink something. So I have my drink here that I always taste. I listen to something, right? So I use what I can hear, whether it's a motivational video or it's Britney Spears or it's whatever. I listen to something. I watch something. So whether that's, I have a picture here of the girls that are in my program, that's just a constant reminder of like, why I do what I do. So, and I use smell. So I use an essential oil before I do anything. So I use the 5 senses to do those 5 things. See, essential oils, they're great. But I do those 5 things and I think of it as like a ritual, like LeBron James, every time he goes out to the court, if anyone watches basketball, he puts the powder and he like throws it up in the air. There's some football players, they have to be the last one kneeling on the field before, the game starts, or they have to do a certain thing. Or I know this one guy, he puts his wedding ring like in a certain shoe. So there's like these rituals that athletes do to get into the game. So if we want to get into the game of confidence, to show up on social media, to show up on, creating videos and doing the things for our business that we need to do, we have to be willing to try new things and to create those rituals that will help us feel a bit confident. Now, that's just putting a Band-Aid on it, right? Like, we get to do deeper work to figure out where these thoughts come from and why we struggle. But those are quick things that I do almost every day, to just step into that confidence in those moments where we don't want to show up, but we need to and want to.
And I think that's a good point to talk about, because it's funny, because I remember some interview years ago that they asked Britney Spears, and she said that she always got nervous before going on stage. Back then, I laughed and said, there's no way she's lying. She's just telling us to make that feel better. But she's actually telling the truth, because as somebody who is on video all the time, I get a little butterfly. I get the nervous energy. Even I even told Danielle today was going to be easy because it's all about her. I still got that nervous energy before I get on video. And you know what? I think this is important to note. I think, yes, sometimes it can be confidence, but also you care so much about the work that you do that you want it to come across to your audience in the way that you want to deliver. And so I think it can be both and, but understand that not everyone is jumping out of the womb, right? With put a camera in my face, I'm on video for life. Not everybody is like that. And that we all have, especially as an introvert, we struggle with these things, and they're all things that we get to work on. So even if you're scared or you feel like you have a confidence issue and you can't get on video because of confidence, you will always be working on that. It's not something, again, that we just never work on again, right? It's personal development. We work on that every single day.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think your passion, your purpose just has to fuel you through those times. Cause I think everyone, if someone says that they're not nervous or, whatever, I think they're lying.
Yeah.
You just have to be lying, because you have to be somewhat hesitant of anything. You're showing up. We're humans. Of course we're afraid to be, and I know everyone's like, oh, don't care what other people think. We're freaking humans. We care what other people think. And if you don't care what other people think, I think there's something wrong with you. You're I have to be concerned, because you should care about other humans. Now, we shouldn't care to a point to where it changes who we are.
Right.
But we all naturally care what other people think. And so I think the other piece of that is not beating yourself up over it. Yeah. Right? If you're oh my gosh, I struggle with getting on video. I don't have the confidence. You get to work on that, but then also don't beat yourself up over that, because you're a work in progress, and there's a reason why you're at this point and having those thoughts, and just getting upset with yourself about it isn't going to help you at all. So we get to figure out how to move forward and move through that. Absolutely.
And as with everything, just like Danielle's practice that she told you about, the only way to get better at doing any of that is to actually do it. Do it. Nobody gets on their first video and kills it. For you might kill it, but then in 3 years, you're going to look back at that video and be like, oh my God, that was so bad. I'm so much better now. And that's the only way you improve. It's just I don't know if you guys have ever watched Danielle, in any of her TikToks or reels, but you got to go follow her, because she is an amazing dancer. But I'm sure when she started dancing back in the day, she fumbled a little bit, and she got better at it, and she got more rhythm. So we all are a work in progress for sure.
Yeah. And, and I think it's one of those things too, where we have to stop expecting ourselves to be like everyone else. I know you've mentioned before, telling people you don't have to dance. Why do you need to know the choreography? You don't have to do that. And people always ask me Danielle, how do you do it? I'm like, let me be honest. I was born this way.
Yeah.
I was born to be a dancer. I've danced my whole life. And I still haven't given up on the dream of being Britney Spears' backup dancer. One day she'll come back and I'll make it happen. But so comparing yourself to want to do dances like I do, that doesn't make any sense. Your passion, your purpose, what you were born to do is different than me. That's, so I think we always, and this is a dumb example, but people always say, how can I get my hair to look like yours? I'm like, you can't. I was born this way. This is how my hair is. I don't put anything in it. I don't I could show you how to curl it, I guess, but your hair is different than mine. So again, that's that whole comparison thing of, when we're showing up and trying to get visible, we have to stop trying to do it like everybody else, because some people were born that way. And
Yes.
some people spent 10, 20, 30 years perfecting that thing or learning a new thing, to where it might take you 10, 20, 30 years if you, I know you say sometimes you have 2 left feet. So like if you have 2 left feet, then, you know, if you want to be a professional dancer, yeah, it might take you 10, 20, 30 years. So it's time to get to work and practice if that's really what you want. But if it's not, stop trying to do the things that other people are doing if it's not your thing.
I have such a great example about this. I'll tell you about really quick. And I think that there's a point to this. So when I was on TikTok for a while, and then I decided I wanted to start doing dances, I was like, my videos aren't doing anything. I'm going to start doing dances. So Colton and I spent 2 hours learning the choreography for this dance for 15 seconds, mind you, 15 seconds. I was dying. It was still so bad. I just like, it wasn't my thing. And I think once I did that and I was like, I just spent 2 hours of my life to create 15 seconds of a video. This is so not me. Like, why am I not doing face to cam? Why am I not talking? Why am I not doing my thing? And I think it's like, sometimes the reason that we're not confident about something is because we're literally not standing in our own authenticity. And when we are standing in our own authenticity, that actually breeds more confident in the thing that we're doing. And I think I had to realize that back in 2020, that I didn't need to be dancing. Like, I will move, but I am not doing choreography. If it's anything more than like hands and pointing, I'm not doing it. It's just all there is to it.
I love it. I feel like right now I need like your gif of your like mic drop to just like post right here. I mean, it's so true. I love that though. And that's the thing, like, you know, that word authenticity is just like thrown around so much, and people have this idea of like what that means, that they're like showing up not authentic because they think being authentic means you have to like wear, you know, like color your hair bright pink, or you have to, you know, like, I don't know, wear some crazy outfit, or you have to do some dance, or you have to, you know, like all these things. And it's like, you know, we got to get real about what does being authentic mean. And like you said, it means not spending 2 hours learning a 15-second dance, right?
Yes.
And for me, it's opposite. Like, turn on some music, let me do the dance. I'll learn it in 10 minutes and I'll get it going. And then that feels authentic to me, where when I'm talking, it's a little different. I'm like, that's not really me. Like, I need to be like shaking my butt, and then I'll put the words over it of like, here's the tips and strategies. So we're just all different. And that's the beauty of this world, and that everyone can be successful in their business and being visible if they're true to themselves.
Yes. This is so good. This is so good. This is going to be a very impactful episode. I just feel that. I just feel that right now. Okay. Are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Well, for being authentic, the answer is no, but sure, I'm ready.
I just need authentic answers. I don't need you to not want to do it.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, they're easy.
Okay.
The first one is so easy. Your favorite social media platform?
Oh, TikTok.
Okay. Your favorite person to follow on social media?
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. It's nothing profound. I'm just gonna be honest. Stassi Schroeder, she's from Vanderpump Rules. She's a reality TV person.
Okay, but why?
I feel like we're supposed to be best friends. And she has a little girl now, and she's so cute. And so she shows like their whole life, and it's just fun.
Do you feel like you know her?
Yes.
That's such a visibility tip right there, friends. I hope you picked up on that. Okay. What is your favorite song right now in this moment to dance to?
I'm just gonna, it's been here for a long time, but when I need it, I choose Power by Little Mix.
Okay. Favorite place to vacation?
Oh, Paris. Oh, wait, LA. Paris. We'll stick with it.
Okay. Favorite guilty pleasure?
Oh, I don't believe in guilty pleasures, but the thing that I like to do that other people might consider a guilty pleasure is watch a soap opera.
Okay. God, it's been a really long time since I've watched a soap opera, and I used to totally feel guilty when I watched them. So it's too funny that you said that. This is the one I know I'm going to have the most fun hearing the answer to. At what age should women start worrying about what they wear?
Oh, never.
I know you have an opinion about this, so I just threw that in there.
You should never worry about what you're wearing, but yes.
Okay.
Well, never.
All right. What has visibility done for you?
I mean, I think, and I'm not trying to say this to like suck up to you, but I think visibility is everything. You don't have a business, you don't have a message. You might have a message and you might have a business, but it cannot grow and expand without visibility. So for me, I think the most important thing that visibility has done is, number one, allowed me to be myself, like with dancing. Like I have found that getting visible in that way has felt really good to me and made me feel good,
Yeah.
but also allowed me to get the message out. I've sat with this thought and this message of women loving, appreciating their bodies and helping them understand where those thoughts come from since, really since like 15, 20 years, I've been thinking about this. And so visibility allows me to share that message and get it out to more humans with the goal of actually changing the world rather than sitting here with my thoughts.
I love that. And it's like this message has been in your head and you've wanted to get it out there and now you have a platform to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good. So good. All right. That's all the rapid fire questions. I'll quit trying to stump you today. All right. Is there anything else that you want to leave my audience with or just remind them about before we leave this episode?
I guess, really, I feel like we've covered so much, but my hope would be that every single woman listening to this right now remembers that they are perfect as they are and that your body is the least interesting thing about you. Who you are is more important than how you look, no matter what the outside world wants to tell you. And when you can step away from the mirror and you can step away from those negative body thoughts, and you can step away from body thoughts in general, you can step into your business. You can step into your message. You can step into your power to live the life that you truly want to live. Because at the end of the day, no one is going to comment on how many stretch marks you had, how much cellulite you had. Nobody freaking cares. Here's the thing. When I teach my fitness classes, I tell almost every time I remind them, nobody's looking at you. Everybody is looking at themselves. So do not worry about whether you're moving the same way I'm moving, no matter what you're doing, how you're moving, it doesn't matter. Because if you're worried about other people's judgment, they're worried about themselves. Here's the thing. When we talk and say certain things, when a woman says, for example, oh my gosh, I look so fat today. What I hear is, oh my gosh, am I fat today then? We all psychologically, what other people say and share, same with like your business, when we're sharing stories and our transformations and all the things, when we do that, we instantly put ourselves in other people's stories. We instantly have those thoughts of our own. So all we're doing when we say those things is we're harming and hurting the little girls in our lives and the other women in our lives, making them think that they are less than, and the most important thing about them is their body. So my challenge to you is that you watch the words that you use and you choose to focus more on who you are and who you want to be and the message that you want to share to the world. And we think less and talk less about our bodies and show up.
I feel like it needs a hallelujah or an amen or something after it, because I feel like that was such a good preaching moment. That was so good. So good. Way to end the podcast episode. Okay. So how can my audience connect with you?
Well, obviously on social media. So Facebook it's so funny because I say that TikTok is my favorite, but I always send people to Facebook. But I feel okay, because Facebook allows you to write, and I also enjoy writing. So I feel like you get the best of both worlds on Facebook. So you can hang out with me on Facebook. I think my name now is Danielle Nicole LaRose. And yeah, or TikTok. I'm still there as Danielle Hogel. So come find me there and hang out.
All right. And then do you have a gift for my audience?
Oh, I do. Thank you for reminding me. So the Healthy Lifestyle Launch Planner is a quick planner with 10 strategies. If you're looking for a way to, just kick off your health or make healthier choices that are actually healthy, aligned with the idea of loving and appreciating your body and taking care of it. And so you can grab that at the link. Apologize for the ding. But yeah, that's that.
Thank you so much for being on the show. I think this is going to be a very impactful episode. I think it's going to serve and support so many entrepreneurs. And I'm just so blessed that I had an opportunity to interview you on here and cannot wait for everyone to hear all the things that we had to say about visibility and authenticity and confidence and body image and all of those things. So I think it's going to land really, really well.
So good. Thank you so much for being you and for helping me with everything that you have always helped me with and allowing me to be part of this.